Okay, 4 minutes in, we are ready. You want to do the intro?
I still don't know what the podcast is about.
Oh, okay. So
we never really.
Well, this is Albert. This is a podcast. It's called Unclicked. This is DeMarcus Paul. You are Albert Mercado. This is the house hippo known as Rue. Yeah, you are allergic to her.
Yeah.
And this is a podcast about creativity.
Creativity and creative person, Albert Mercado.
Yes.
So this will be this. Is this the second one?
Second
of this kind of category.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think
like the rails.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, the idea is kind of like let's focus on a certain topic, and I think creativity is obviously I don't know, a pretty subjective thing.
It is.
And it's pretty I feel like sensitive. I feel like people are going to be like that's not creative. This is great. Yeah, there's definitely going to be a lot of opinions. Basically, I consider you to be a very creative writer. So I thought, like, hey, let's do something. Demo was like, hey, we should do one with Albert, and I was like, yeah, let's kind of like focus it in though, like, and kind of just
get in the brain of Albert Mercado.
Yeah, have some fun.
Well, so less about me and more about like.
No, this is about you.
It's not
no.
We can start it off with, since we're talking about creative.
Yeah.
Albert is, which I can completely understand. Whenever you see a spot and you think of a spot for a person, it's gonna be like, oh, this person would definitely kill this spot, and you say, this is an Albert spot. He hates it.
So I mean, I guess that's the first thing is like, is there creative? I feel like is there creative writing and is there creative spot usage? Like how do you sum up creative BMX writing when somebody says, oh well, that's real creative? Like what do you think of?
That like you said is real subjective. That's hard because kind of a lot of the disciplines in BMX require some sort of like outside of the box thinking to even just jumping a dirt jump. It's kind of all creative, but on the direction we're going to focus on the like more outward approach to creativity. That's a hard one. Like,
well then, okay, who would be your like top 3 or top 1 or 2, 3 creative writers when you think of who pops in your head right away?
Elstran, of course. Declan Murray and Mike Mastroni. I think top 3 straight off the bat.
Yeah.
And all different styles too.
Yeah.
What is it about? I mean, let's focus in on Elstran then, because I feel like Elstran's one of those dudes that can do everything.
Yeah,
he really can.
Yeah. So what is? Well, I guess let's find. I think we have some stuff here. The dragon.
Yeah, I put that there because it's like as soon as I saw that, I was like, I'm a fan.
Yeah,
instantly. I think a lot of people were. It's incredible.
Early Elstran.
Very early.
This is like his like breakout one. I don't want to minimize the screen, but I feel like this has a lot of views.
I think it does.
Yeah.
I mean, it came out like 7-8 years or longer.
I've never seen this.
You've never seen this?
No.
No, this is just like the first thing I've ever seen of him.
It's been so long since I've seen this.
Yeah, well, I watched it again the other day. It's just like
making sure. It's always so hard with older videos. I'm like, are we on peak quality right now? I can't. I forgot about that.
Yeah, he's like pretty normal mini ramp run and then just goes.
I'm going to turn it down just a little bit so I don't have to deal with that.
Where do you guys know where he's from?
I don't.
What about...
Not California.
That's incredible.
Yeah, that was insane.
You said Declan Murray?
Declan Murray.
And Mastroni, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Off the bat, I mean, I'm going to take a guess at like Elstran seemed like he's from a small town.
Yeah.
And I feel like and Mastroni's also from a small town.
And I believe
like,
Declan's from a small town too.
I kind of feel like they're forced to kind of think a little bit harder when it comes to spots or like the things they do. I mean, that's not saying I'm a big city.
Did you
That's
see
incredible.
that email?
No, I don't.
Because you think like, oh, he's gonna take his hands off or something.
Just
That's so sick.
I forgot. It's been too long since I've seen this.
Wow.
hey, he's been the best for a while.
Because I remember stuff of Elstran where he like did like a 3 down whip over something, like back when 3 down whips were,
Yeah.
you know, people didn't do triple ones.
Yeah. I mean, and he's also
Wow.
he's really good at everything. Like
Yeah.
I said, but you can do like hop decades and stuff and
Yeah.
all that.
See, I think I always found my, you know, going back to that like candy bar foot plant thing. It's like yeah, that's
like,
crazy.
that's insane.
The mirror. I always felt like I always struggled with the risk versus the reward. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like this isn't worth it and I'm going to get broke off. And so I can't do this.
I mean, there's stuff I tried that was seemingly small or easy where I just die repeatedly over and over again.
Yeah. And you start questioning life, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
What is?
This is kind of like proof that if you've thought of something, it's like, oh, I got an idea for it.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
done. It's like, probably been done by Erik.
I forgot about
Harmonica.
that. Yeah, there's a harmonica on his bars. I have.
I think you could zoom on YouTube now.
Can you? I can't. I'm not gonna age.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna age myself
so
by
bad.
doing by trying to figure out how to zoom on YouTube. I mean, where's the line between creativity and gimmicky? I guess is because obviously he ended it with a harmonica toot, and he's not being serious by any means.
Yeah.
But there's outright creative stuff in there, and there's stuff that's like self-entertainment laugh.
Yeah.
Is there a line? How do you?
For me,
I mean, for anybody.
I don't know the line.
Yeah.
It's more of like your personal kind of enjoyment. Like maybe the harmonica is something he did really want to film, you know? Like
Yeah.
You don't know that, but to you it's kind of quirky and fun. But I don't know. The line is hard to define. Like you said early on, it's subjective. It's really freaking subjective, man. That's such a hard
Well,
question.
do you have theory on this? Should I stop asking you awkward questions?
No, you
No, that's a
continue.
really good question.
That's a really good question. What is?
I mean, what
Marcus?
about you?
Yeah, what's
what
your
about you?
insight
Dino?
on that?
I'm not creative whatsoever with bike riding. I'm more like I've always described my bike riding as like
Well,
going fast and running into stuff.
Well, what's your
So,
line?
I'm not creative.
No. What's your not yours, but like as a viewer, a consumer of like BMX media, what do you find to be uncomfortable to watch, or too quirky, or too silly, or
I think
harmonica?
Well, I mean, I think Tate's like the example of like his riding is gimmicky.
Okay.
And I would assume that he is aware of that. You know, I'm not saying that in a negative way, but like that's his.
Yeah, it's more of a catch. Like,
That's his avenue.
Yeah.
You know, he's upside down in a car. You know, like or whatever, and Animal Farm.
If you guys didn't know, this podcast is filmed on a farm.
Yeah. With the dog. Yeah, right. But then, you know, you have somebody like Mastroni who is creative, and it's also not necessarily, it's like Mastroni's looking for these spots, and after searching for fucking forever, he's like, fuck it, I'm going to make it.
one.
You know? But
Yeah.
it's like, and that in itself is creative. So it's like, it's two different aspects where they're both creating the the location, the spot, the way it's filmed, et cetera, but it's different ends of the spectrum.
Yeah, and they both have two entirely different styles.
Yeah,
but they have like, the same objective or the same kind of style to getting to there, like building a spot, doing whatever. But yeah, Tate's a little bit more outward about it.
I gotta make sure nothing weird is on my desktop.
risk reward.
Well, there was a
question that you brought up is like real good, like the risk reward factor behind it. And you were talking about like the line between creativeness and gimmicky. And I think if I'm personally watching something and I think about like depending on what mood I'm in, if I want to be like a little bit more serious, it's kind of hard for me to watch something that a person may not have put that much effort into it. Just off of me looking at it doesn't mean it wasn't hard.
Yeah.
But if I'm kind of more in a mood where I'm kind of like, all right, whatever, then I think whatever I'm watching is kind of like I appreciate all of it, and I don't really have a label for it. But at the same time, when a person is doing the trick, it's like, okay, we know that half of this, bro, all of the stuff we just saw wasn't easy by any means.
Yeah.
So at the level of like in between tries, where you like, what am I doing? And on some of it's like, okay, I can just do this because I can just do it. So does it make, because creativeness doesn't always mean that it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you've filmed stuff of me like that's probably taken over an hour.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I ask you, it's like, is this fucking worth it? Like, is this stupid? And stuff like that, where it's like, it does go through your mind. Like, is it too corny? Like, am I gonna, I think I even asked you that this morning about like something else. Like, is this corny?
You always need an outside opinion.
Yeah,
an honest
especially when it's
opinion.
taking an hour. To do something. You're like, shit. Should I keep going? Is this gonna be worth it when I actually pull?
Should I put my grips back on? Because whatever weird.
Like, I don't know, man.
I mean, like, going to the risk and reward thing is like this is the first thing I thought of is this.
That's
this clip.
insane.
I mean it. I mean, and he put in I mean, you saw those photos just leading in, but like. Fuck that.
Those are tire size holes.
Fuck that. There's no. I mean, that is dangerous.
Yeah.
People
and to
probably
break it down too. It's like if we take away the net and just put a bank to wall, and even just doing the bat tire stall against the wall that way with a coaster is already mind blowing. So to have it on a net that's super loose.
I mean, he put in some work for that too. Yeah. So, but then there's like
one of those guys too that can do everything on a bike. By the way, like
is he? See, that's it's funny
so
because
funny,
I
didn't know that until my very first volume trip, and it was to Utah, and a few of the spots how like, oh, I want to do that on this. Tate did it like 20 years ago.
Really?
Oh yeah, 100%. Like,
so he's like choosing to ride the way he rides.
100%.
Sick. That's awesome.
Does Tate go on any? He doesn't go on any GT trips.
I've never been on a GT trip.
I wonder. I always I'm like, does he could just like go and fucking jump the hips
went on one trip.
at a park, like or something like that? Does he go cruise or is he always just like throwing his fucking front wheel around?
That's a good question.
I don't know.
It could be phases. Like I've been around him a few times. Like every time I would go to Utah, I'm staying with him. So it's like if we go out and ride, he would be working his job, and his job is pretty sick or whatever. But whenever he would come out and ride, it'd be like, if he's with Mastroni, they probably have a spot in mind.
Yeah.
But he's also down just to like either walk around looking for spots, ride around looking for spots, or just go ride a skate park. So it's like,
doesn't Elstran have, or not Elstran? Doesn't Tate have like? Didn't the Come Up do like the most creative rider? And what was that?
It was like a title.
Oh yeah, it was for one of the parts.
I spelled his name wrong. Fuck, sorry, Tate. Fucking that E. Where most? Oh, if you would think it would be the top one if it was.
It has like an insane amount of views on it too.
Yeah. Most creative rider on earth, 18 million.
Yeah.
Fucking animals.
Just beating down the door.
Why is it like 10 seconds? Did they get in trouble or something? Why is
YouTube doing YouTube stuff?
I think they removed the song.
Oh.
It's so
good. Yeah.
It's funny when it's like because they can remove the song, so it's just the background stuff, but it's like so spotty. Well, see, I mean, that was wild.
Yeah.
Oh.
So YouTube removed the song.
I would assume that they chose to do it for revenue purposes. Like it probably didn't get hit, and then the video is so old, so they at some point they got hit by it, and instead of
That's so sick.
See, this is a little more straight. I mean, there's more straightforward BMX elements to this than his current Instagram, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, you know, things go that way. God, Elf with that shit is so crazy. It's so great. Elf is another one on the list.
Bro,
Salt Lake City, 100%.
Salt Lake City, yeah. The sounds are so funny.
Right.
Why is it Salt Lake? I bet it's just the Beringer influence.
Gotta be, man.
Yeah.
I know Cam Wood, Beringer, of course Tate.
Wow.
Even a few of the other locals that nobody really know about, like, kind of have that same, I guess, creative approach to it, or not so like normal approach to like any spots they're riding.
Now a song showed up. I don't know.
It's background noise.
I think that, yeah. Weird. It was just weird. With that dynamic of that video is weird. So, what else should we click through here? You want to start?
I like move to Declan stuff.
Declan?
There's a couple.
I had a question for Albert.
I didn't do the time codes really quick. I didn't do that.
So, Albert.
Yeah.
When you were younger, I'm not going to ask you how'd you get into BMX, but do you feel, or if you can reflect back now, that things that you would do before even BMX that you can remember were like creative, whether it's like art, whether it's like certain things you like to watch, but you like to dress, that kind of you maybe feel maybe influence like what you do today?
Like when I look back and reflect, I feel like I was, up until I started riding, I was sitting in a room with a chair and a glass of water, and then I started riding, and then like the door opens, you know, and I could start exploring my own creativity. And then the way I ride now is way different than the way I rode. Like back then, I was more into jumping shit. Like 12
Do you feel like that's the environment is what kind of not held you back, but kind of you got to start somewhere. So my take on what you're saying would be, because of maybe the people you're riding around, this is what everybody's doing, so it was more normal just to do those things, or what?
I think so. Like I take a lot of influence from my friends and who I'm around and what I feel like doing. Like I used to ride with like Wong Tran and Kyle Hart, and those dudes went fast and those dudes jump shit. And I was always like, I'd never go as high as those dudes. Never do, like, my tricks were never as clicked as theirs. Like, so I didn't see that as like, oh, they're better than me, I have to start riding different. It's just like, that's their thing. So I'm going to try to like find my own lane, because just they were so different. I was like, what they're doing is sick, but it just doesn't work for me. I tried, like, I can go like high on a quarter, I could jump shit, and I used to do that shit all the time with them. And then later years of riding, I really tried to focus on kind of boiling down spots and doing stuff at like you said earlier, what is it? Creative spot use, like using the spot to its full potential. Yeah. But like early on, it was just like jump shit, do a table on street, do a toboggan on street. Okay. That's kind of.
Was it like you decided you didn't want to compete in that level, and in that, like, I want to go jump higher and faster or something like that, so I'm going to go in my own lane? Or was it like
not like I never really looked at it like competition. It was just more or less like they got that covered, and that's my friend group, so I'm gonna like diversify myself a little and kind of bring something else to the table when it comes to going to a skate park, because we travel and went to skate parks and stuff, and I think that I felt I could take this approach, and then they can like see what I'm doing, and we can kind of feed off of each other's. Like I can mix in the bigger stuff with the creative stuff, and I could bring them to the creative stuff I'm doing, and back and forth. And
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Does the spot dictate the trick, or is
Sometimes.
or do you have the trick first and then look for the spot?
both.
Can you let that thing out?
Yeah.
Stay out. Did it go?
Yeah.
All right.
Sometimes both. I mean, we found a thing yesterday that was we built the spot out first and then found a trick to do on it.
Why were you embarrassed by saying that?
Well,
That was just
It was
funny.
more
I just
to it
it's
than-
not. I didn't post it anywhere, so we.
it's a pretty sick spot that
Send
we
it to
used to
you.
ride,
Send it to you.
and they added more to it. And we always would pass by it, and I was like, let's go check it out. And we looked at it, and it was like the rail is pretty high, but he can grind it. And he was like, I don't know if I can hop that high. Then one of our other friends, Ricky, showed up, and we were like, got a crescent wrench, bro? And we like took one of the rails out to make it like more accessible to ride.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
then I was like, oh, I'll do something on there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Illegal stuff.
Of course.
Vandalism.
Something
Yeah.
like that.
Vandalism.
Defacing property.
Well, actually, security
It's like
guard
creative. BMX is like creative vandalism.
Yeah, creative
Yeah.
vandalism. Security guard walked by and didn't even give us a second look.
Yeah.
We thought he was going to be trouble, but he was just
Yeah,
kept going.
yeah. A lot of people walking by kind of gave us the eyes of like, I don't know what you guys are doing. And some people be like, oh, that's sick. So
Let me see the spot. It just airdrop it. I'll just put it on the screen record right now. You just have to drop it by next Tuesday.
drop it.
Nice.
Nothing crazy.
yeah, they're ready
You have to
come
drop
out
it.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
I was just.
It's got the glitches already.
Yeah, it's so good.
Oh, I was just going to send him the unedited version. It's this.
Moment of truth. The question you asked me
Airdrop.
earlier.
You got to airdrop it.
Well, I'll show you.
No, airdrop.
Oh no,
it.
no, you gotta go to the. Nah, you cut out part of it.
Oh, you want like the whole.
Yeah, the part where you ask, like we brought it up earlier about like gimmicky or creative, and that was what he was referring to. And
Yeah, I asked him if like a glitch effect was corny. Or
Oh, there it is. Yeah, sorry.
security camera.
security camera effect
Yeah,
was
it was like,
corny.
nah,
Yeah.
stick. I'm probably gonna be more so agree. I'm gonna probably push it. If you thought of it, I'm gonna be like, nah, that's sick. 'Cause I kind of don't want to take a person off of what they think is cool,
Yeah.
and I think like it's easy.
So that had 3 rails on it. So we just took a rail off.
Oh.
That one on the floor. But yeah, it was just hard to ride because it's so tight and compact.
I'm gonna
Oh.
highlight some of his bike control. If you go back to when he rolled out, he was sweating. He was like, I kind of like I didn't know what I was doing. It's like, no, you looked at the wall,
Yeah,
and was like,
and, like-
nah, I'm gonna wait.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
See, I mean, I think I think your guys is a lot of your stuff is like a natural byproduct of just being out in the world a lot. You know, like I think
and it's like stuff I've ridden a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe I didn't film something there, or maybe I just want to do something else on it,
Yeah.
and I'll just outride the same spot,
Dude, yeah.
every fucking day if I could.
Yeah. And it's
I mean, I can and I do.
You traveled the world. You like been on multiple trips. Like you've done so many things where you ride spots that are just there, or
Mm-hmm.
like if there's a team and you guys like, oh, we're in Arizona and everybody's riding this spot.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'll film something on it. But I think like consistently riding a place like downtown San Diego,
Mm-hmm.
to the most can get pretty boring. But at the same time, if you're riding enough of those spots over and over, and even not even riding, you just walk by and be like, one day I'll figure something out.
Yeah.
You could just like walk by the next day and like touch it. Then you'll have a spot like this where it's been changed so many times. And yesterday he was like, we should just go check it out again.
because those bars weren't even there originally.
No,
yeah, so
it
those
used to
bars
be like
got
a
added
ledge
in.
wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess especially over the course of years. I mean, you guys. I mean, a decade. You know, like,
Literally.
and
Yeah.
so it's like it. You definitely tend to. You see it the 97th time, and you're like, "Oh, I could do that."
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
like, it's,
Mindset
Yeah,
change,
but-
perspective change, skills change.
I feel like the same Dakota's in the same
Oh, yeah.
realm
Oh,
with that.
100%.
And fuck, what's his name? Japanese dude.
Daosuke.
No, I am blanking. Rooftop hates him.
I don't know anything about Rooftop's personal affairs.
It doesn't hate. It doesn't hate him.
Yeah,
he
just
writes for
time.
Stranger. Why am I blanking?
Oh, Yumi.
Yumi.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Why I know this.
Yeah, he's sick. I love everything.
I mean, it's funny because Rooftop is coming down to help out with the Nyquist podcast, and
you can ask both of them about Yumi.
and Rooftop always talks about Yumi, and I told him we were doing this, and he was like, "Yeah, you could talk about." And I'm like, I mean, so this is my perspective on Yumi. Of course, I respect it because some of the shit is absolutely just like insane. And then, Rooftop was like, yeah, I mean, it's sick, but like he shouldn't be a professional bike rider. And I was like, I don't know.
It's kind of like a park rider,
but like
street rider shouldn't be a pro. But
it's yeah. And it's like he's an innovator in for his own style of riding, which I think is amazing. And I think the problem comes from the copy of the copy of the copy.
Right.
And it just when it stops being new and creative and it starts to be a version of Yumi, then that's when the problem happens.
Right.
You know, like because it's not creative anymore. You're like, oh, you're just doing what Yumi does.
Yeah.
On different spots.
Yeah.
And it's
all those are really good points. And to that world of BMX, I always try to like when I look at it, a lot of stuff I think I can relate to. And even with park riding stuff, I try not to like close my mind off to it because I think as soon as I start to think that something isn't the right way, then I've already like missed the whole point of a person doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
So to Rooftops, I understand it, but at the same time, it's the same person that made a rail to do a grinding backflip.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that at the time was like innovative.
Yeah.
So that is to me the same as like figuring out how you can vertically pad bunk a rail to flat off a big stair set or like down something like even that.
Oh yeah, even what he
kinda-
just did right now is like back tire jam.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is insane.
It just unlocks a whole different I guess another side of your the way you think, you know. But
I think the disconnect for Rooftop is that for the most part his riding isn't like dangerous.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
which I understand is a certain
100%.
style and even when I watch a lot of BMX, it all starts to blend in, and I'm like, and sometimes I watch a part, and I'm like, and not necessarily Yumi, but like you'll watch other thing, and they're just like jibbing on ledges, or it's all like tech ledge combos, and then they ride off the roof at the end, or something like that. And I call it they do the danger banger, and it's like they do one dangerous thing at the very end, and you're like, why'd you just fucking hold on to your own shit? Don't do the thing that's like kind of dangerous.
My take on that, and this is could be so far off, but like when I look at that, because it's a real good point about like tinker around. In my perspective of tinkering around with jibbing, it's like to a degree that's still extremely hard, but to do the big one at the end is like, how old am I? 25, right? So if I'm 25 doing that, and then if I think about a guy that was 25 that was 25 at one point doing more dangerous stuff, but has now kind of digressed into BMX world of progression because of that they were so hard on their bodies. To me, it's like another level of longevity. It's like, and that may not be the approach that the person may be taking, but I may look at it that way. It's like, oh wait, like I can now go harder than I could when I was 22.
Yeah,
and it's like, but when I look at it that way, it's like, you know, that person had way more to offer in a sense of like doing bigger, scarier stuff. But it's like, if they kind of leave the ride off the roof at the end, it's like, well, what are they capable of? It definitely leaves it like I want to see more of that, but at the same time, it's like, well, they may fade out or they may eventually take a turn and like, all right.
I think that switch you're talking about is really important in like longevity in a BMX career, because I remember for me personally that point when that happened, I was caveman off a really big bridge somewhere between here and New Mexico.
Shadow video, right?
No,
kink video.
Well, I don't even think it was in the video. I think it just ended up being they did like a crash YouTube channel thing or like a YouTube series. But I remember dying, and I waited up there for like 30 minutes, and it was windy, and I was like, fuck it, jump. And like I always do, fuck it, jump. And I died. I jackknifed and did a rolling turn down into myself.
Squash it?
No, I think it might have been called like One Hit Wednesdays.
One Hit Wednesdays.
Yeah, I think Kink did a series.
I mean, we don't have to. If I can't pull it up quick, it don't really matter.
Or maybe it's not there anymore. But you see, there's the series.
Yeah.
But I remember that point, and I remember thinking like, I shouldn't be doing this anymore. Like, I shouldn't be jumping off.
That is funny. Bigger than I remember.
Were you there?
No, I would definitely.
Bro, even just thinking about, bro, that is so long. Like, that is really big.
And I sat up there for so long, and it was the biggest one I had done at that point.
Oh,
you're so good at that. You landed it.
Yeah, my foot was like jackknife, and I remember lying there like, just fuck, this sucks.
Did you do it again?
No, I
knew that answer. I just wanted that reaction.
Absolutely not. My knee was so wrecked.
Oh.
Yeah.
Were you wearing a helmet all the time back then, or you just wear it for that?
I did it for like scarier stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, when I was on kink, I was like 60-40 helmet or 40-60.
Yeah.
And then when I switched to GTA, I was like, I'll just full time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
Dude. Yeah, that was big.
So yeah, I remember. And what year? I don't know. What that?
That came out 7 years ago, but
I think it was filmed way longer. But anyway, yeah, I remember that point in like my BMX career. I was like, I don't want to be the dude who does cavemans, because I would go like you said, we would travel, and I'd go somewhere, and someone's like, I got a big ass caveman to show you. Just like, fuck.
Yeah.
Because you did the crazy one here that was outside that school that got recently taken out. The one off of the post.
The post, climbed up the fence, hung onto the fence, and then jumped off sideways.
Yeah.
So, that one was.
I think I'm circling back, but I think Yumi shit is awesome. I think his style, I think his approach to spots is like, I'm jealous of it in a lot of ways, because he's able to make something out of nothing, essentially. I think that's
feel
the
like
best.
You're capable of doing that?
No, not really.
Yeah.
I mean, we went to. I wrote a spot with Fudrigus. I have 3 clips on my phone.
Of what?
That's nothing. That turned into something.
Of me?
Yeah.
Oh.
You never posted them. They were at the water park.
Yeah.
Or the Fun for All or whatever.
Yeah. No, I've just never been much of a ledge guy. I just can't.
I hate ledges.
Yeah. I mean,
hate
me
ledges,
too, personally.
but I love them at the same time.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
very anticlimactic, but at the same time, very satisfying, because a lot of ledge stuff is extremely hard. Like,
I've never had the patience for it. I think
you're a cinder, man.
That's my problem.
That's the problem.
That's my problem.
That's how I like learned about who Fudger was. So I'm on Scarred.
Was I on Scarred?
Was it on? Yeah, you were on Scarred.
Was it the feeble grind?
No, it was like a gap to something, and he broke his ankle.
Oh, it was real something. The original one.
Yeah. It may not have been Scarred, but it was something.
That's so funny you saw it, because I never saw it. I got $500 for that.
Nice.
And I needed that for my medical bills.
Nice. Do you have injuries played a real big role into how you approach your style of riding?
No,
we're talking about like injuries right now. Like,
it was more of a preventative. I knew if I stayed on that path, I'm gonna die. Like, I'm not literally die, but like how I like my knee. I have like perpetual knee issue now. Like, that knee is weaker for some reason, and it didn't really play a role in how I ride, because I still rode the same for a while.
right.
But just thinking ahead, being like, oh, I want to kind of switch things up, and I don't want to be the 12 flat 12 dude anymore, or just jumping shit.
Yeah.
Like, because I used to session the 12 flat 12 at City College. You shot a photo of me
The
there.
invert.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good.
I kind of feel like it may not be. I don't want to like kind of go against like the whole talking about the kink situation. And I know like with riding a certain way, and even looking at the clip we just watched, and 2 years and years later to like you guys parting ways with each other, I kind of feel like, from me being around you often, and to seeing that, not you like catching a second wind, but you know how someone would be like, if even using Instagram as an example, if you post a clip, or if you posted 5 clips on your Instagram, they're like, dude, you've been killing it. And it's like, oh no, Albert's always killing it, but you don't see it because you're not with him every day. So do you feel with leaving that situation that you had something to prove, or you felt like that was kind of like, all right, I can breathe now and focus on what I want to do when it came to because of the way it happened, in the sense of like, what was the team called?
What team? What are we talking about?
They had like a Legends team that I just
Yeah.
didn't want to be a part of. Pretty
Oh,
much.
okay.
I mean, like it's normal.
Classics.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
just transitioned the pro team to
Yeah.
this, and I was like, I don't think I'm there yet.
Yeah.
I think I still got a little bit more to offer. So I think what maybe you're getting at is I didn't take that situation to like switch my style up, but I think around the same time I didn't switch it up on purpose. It was on purpose because I spent a lot of time focusing on trying to ride like everyone else, if that makes sense at all.
Yeah.
Like, so I'd noticed like, yeah, I'm able to do other shit. It's just not as cool to me as the way they're doing it. And I'm trying to like, felt like I was keeping up, but then, like the kink thing had an influence. Like, well, maybe I'm not keeping up enough, or I should be doing something different. So I just kind of like stewed on it a little, and it's like, I'm going to do what I want, because I wasn't doing what I want. Just ride exactly how I want.
Yeah.
And I think if you scroll through my Instagram, it's the last couple of years is I'm riding just differently than I used to ride previously. And again, it's just like a little bit's age, like having the bike control that I can get to a spot and kind of be like, I know what I want to do here, or, you know, like ride the same spot all the time and eventually figure something out there. But the switch up was definitely intentional, to not please anyone but myself.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of feel like too. You are one of those guys that can do every trick too. He won't admit to it, but
That's not true.
he can do every trick. But to be able to kind of control
Blooming
yourself-
flower. That's a trick.
blooming flower.
That's where you do like the double candy bar and then stick your legs out.
Oh my God.
Can you do that?
Absolutely.
He probably.
I can do candy bars.
There you go. He can. He can do a half. He can do a half blooming flower. Half blooming flower. So let's watch utility work. This is your latest video part, right?
Yeah.
And this is kind of
concept video.
Yeah, concept video part.
San Diego has a lot of electrical boxes. And I was posting a lot of clips on him, and then I just kind of stopped. I was like, we should make a part.
If you go looking for electrical boxes in your city, you may not find that many, because in downtown San Diego, they put the wires underground, not power wires.
Oh.
Yeah,
So
so
if you look
San
around-
Diego has more specifically.
Oh, that's so funny. I never thought about that.
Yeah. Because I
About
tried to
why,
I
you know?
tried to go meet up with Jeff to film some in like Long Beach, and it's like, what the fuck? Like
There's
there's
none.
there's barely any
Yeah.
here.
So good.
So yeah, San Diego.
But I mean, so just I guess I'll keep playing. But in itself, I mean, what is this thing is 3-4 minutes long, so you're creating a video part
I think
based off
Gary
of
did that.
about boxes. Yeah, Gary did do that.
Yeah.
That's all right though.
Just creating a video part from boxes.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
that's the reality of it. Is that
Yeah, I mean, it definitely took a lot of time to find different ones, because at first I was like, this is going to be a cakewalk. We got so many ideas. And then we knocked all those out, and we're like, shit, we still need a minute. We still need more time.
we need more boxes.
So
That's not an electrical box. That's
That's
a
why it's
natural.
utility work.
Fuck.
Yeah.
And
And see, this one only worked. Yeah, Fudger filmed that because my bar end touch, you know?
Yeah, you got to put your grips back on. Or something.
Yeah.
Righty Matty.
Maddie.
Demo on the camera in the background, huh?
Hell yeah. Demo kills a fish.
No. Oh, I filmed this too.
Yeah, you did film that. I think you get a slow-mo pause right now. Demo. Boom.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. Holy fucking superhero outfit, Demo.
You
Looking good in the
street. Stay
streets.
warm out. I mean, yeah,
Sidewalks.
Layers. You guys are both, yeah, I don't know. This is creative, putting on multiple layers.
I got like 3 things right now.
I know.
I got one jacket on.
There you go. All right, I got 2. Parker's another one, dude. I think creativity, in a sense, is doing keeping people on their toes in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, you see the spot, you know, you see what's coming. That's cool. like you see a spot, oh, he's going to do the ice hard or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's like when it comes to somebody like Parker lately, his GT part, I was like, dude, I can't call a single trick on this. Like, and I think that in itself is, while most people wouldn't consider like Parker quintessential creative rider, I think his riding is becoming more and more creative.
Oh yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
I mean, he's about to put out, hopefully soon enough. I don't want to spoil it, but a demo part. I think he posts about it.
Yeah.
A demolition part, and just I've filmed stuff of him.
Yeah.
And it's just like shit. He's so good.
Yeah.
It's and it's bigger stuff too.
Yeah.
So it's like, and he just does it real casually. But there's stuff like he did a feeble 180 up a ledge to fakey nothing. Like that's insane. You know?
Wow.
He did the tooth feeble 180 up to fakey nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that.
You don't see fakey nothings.
No.
No, ever.
I've seen you do one. But
He's done he's done
he did. What
X
you
up
said.
X up grind, right? X up grind to nothing, and he's the king of the one-handed X grind down rails. And
yeah,
Yeah.
he's savage,
just
man.
he's got a lot.
One of those
on.
guys that, if in talking about him, I kind of feel like he's always been in the shadows
Tango.
of Dennis.
Yeah.
Not on purpose, but like it's Dennis. You know, it's like you're gonna kind of more so take and put into what you do from somebody that you're influenced by. And I think now he's got his own lane, and now you see him like shine. It's like, oh, this dude is capable of doing a lot of sick stuff. So shout out to Parker, man. And I think
Yeah.
too, he's been with you a lot. Like you see another side of the person maybe because of influence. And I think that because of your outward expression on like how you ride and the spots you choose, maybe make him
let
think a
that
little
cat
bit
in
more.
again. Why is he so?
Yeah, I get what you're saying, and
You just leave it cracked. It's
Okay.
fine. Yeah.
yeah, and he's definitely got a lot of that in himself. Like he can do he loves rail tricks. So like he'll go to a rail and he'll kind of nudge like, yo, you think this would be cool? You're like, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
100% do that. So he's got it in him.
Yeah, he's sick, and,
Really?
and also can do every trick, you know. So and still
really
like
can.
the stuff that see him do now, and he's still young, you know, the stuff that he'll be able to like demonstrate
yeah.
later,
Totally.
like just really fine tuning certain tricks you know how to do just on different things.
Yeah, I think going back to the Dennis thing is like he obviously grew up in San Diego and he emulated Dennis in a lot of ways, and he has found his own lane.
Right.
Yeah,
which
because he definitely rode different like 4 years ago.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
Parker was a very different rider.
because I think when you have people that, you know, they're young kids and they're like, oh, they ride like Garret, and it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
but if you can steal Garrett's style, then you're a really good bike
Yeah.
rider, and you just gotta
Yeah.
do that for
I
a
would
while.
honestly say that probably with him being influenced by Dennis is what made him such a really good bike rider.
Yeah,
you know? So
yeah.
it's like that definitely
makes sense,
adds to the capability of, you know, a person when they get to that expression of like being themselves, then, you know, you see a different side of them.
Yeah,
Or you have
yeah.
their own lane, such as yourself. You know, it's like being influenced by a lot of guys that you're into, and not just the guys you're currently like looking at as creative riders, but like guys you grew up watching, guys you were
Yeah.
around, and then turning into like, all right, I'm gonna take a piece of this, and incorporating the things I like to do. You can do inverts really well, you do crank flips really well, you do tail whips really well, all these different things you really do. And then you're like, okay, I can crank flip out of this, or I can maybe bonk this to get over to that and
Yeah.
squeeze a way out when this spot shouldn't even be sat on. So
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah, I think I was the only one who rode that thing yesterday.
yeah, of course. Yeah.
But yeah, I feel that.
I think it's finding being kind of what you said earlier, like being open to experiencing all parts of BMX and knowing, and so you could find what you like,
Yeah.
you know, and
Yeah.
finding the parts that fit you best and being
Yeah.
able to do that, which I was never good at, honestly. Like I always just was like, so
Yeah, and that's part of it too. Is like when you don't feel motivated, that really helps me kind of focus on what I'm doing, because I get to kind of outwardly find something to distract myself and find some motivation in my day out. Sometimes I don't even feel like riding, and I'll go out with DeMarcus, and somehow we film like 2 or 3 clips, and
Yeah.
it's like, damn, that was worth it.
Yeah.
That was fun. That was really brought me out of like a demotivating state, just to get out and then explore and find what you can do on anything.
It's ironic that it's a demotivating state, but it's
that's amazing.
yeah. But it was
like that you
DeMarcus
did
that brought you
Dope.
back.
Yeah, yeah.
Demotivating.
Ooh.
Yeah, something like
That
that.
makes sense.
Yeah.
But not. So I had Hango on here. Should we watch? I feel like Hango is like the spot combination, burly creativity, like the mix.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like all with the like the rooftop comment is like it's not dangerous. Like Hango brings the danger with the creative spot usage.
I don't think BMX needs to be dangerous. Like,
I think I like it to be.
I mean,
Personally. I like it to be.
Yeah.
I like this.
It doesn't need to be, but
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
I
Well,
think
yeah, I
that's
don't
part
mean
of the-
that in like nobody should be doing that
Yeah.
the hard stuff. Like for me personally, and it also comes to a comfort level. Like I think Colin mentioned the other day. Like I do dangerous stuff. It just kind of depends on if I want to do it or not in the moment.
Yeah.
So I'm not
Yeah.
against it. I would just like don't focus on it entirely.
That came with time for you, right? Like I think with any BMXer that is like that's been doing it for a while and kind of like molded themselves into who they are now. Do you feel the age, not necessarily the age, but just like the time that you spent on the bike kind of helped you be able to make in your head would be more mature decisions when it comes to your riding and what you choose to do?
Yeah, I think so. I think just having more bike control and understanding what my bike's going to do in certain situations
Like,
seems to make a difference. And yeah, that makes sense. I never really put too much thought
I
into
think
that.
it's
But
always
yeah.
fun, like shooting photos or whatever. Like back in the day, this is
crazy,
my favorite
yeah.
clips of this year, basically.
With the riders
with the
cruising by.
yeah, with the it's just like perfect. Like they're just looking
wow.
so good.
Hango's sick.
That
vertical
you know
parallel.
you
Yeah.
the
That's insane.
the random person, like oh I'm gonna tail up down a 15 stair today.
Yeah.
It's something that people would do when they were younger, and then later in life you're like, I am not tail upping a 15 stair.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, next week, or in the next it just like it's that sort of stuff definitely comes with a little wisdom in the sense of like, hey, if there's a
Yeah.
reason, if there's a 15 stair and then something else afterwards,
piece
and I
that
need
together.
Yeah,
then I'll do it,
yeah.
but like not just the stock whip,
And
but
there's
like
also-
but BMX still needs that. Like it still
No,
needs
yeah,
somebody to
absolutely
truck a
right.
fucking 20 stair.
You're right.
Yeah,
You're right.
Yeah, the
So-
big stuff is cool, and
Yeah.
I have so much respect for it. I just don't.
I mean, flower down a 15 stair.
Ooh.
I mean, it's like a saran wrap.
Albert
Saran wrap
Flower.
down to 15 would be
Dude,
great.
Saran
Saran
wrap.
It'd be fire.
You can do a saran wrap, can't you?
No, I can't. I've never
You're
done
a
it.
liar.
Bro, what?
I could probably do a saran wrap, but I've never done them. Like,
You do egg sub candy bar grind.
yeah.
Yeah. I like that you had to
360,
think about
360
that too,
over
yeah.
360 over ice down a rail.
Yep.
A little bit of everything.
Yeah, Hango's sick.
Yeah, having the variety pack and having the skill level, because like
Yeah.
it had to be built right. Because I think to you, how we literally just saying like going from one thing to the next when it's certain time periods in your life, and you built skill to be able to maybe manipulate your bike how you want it to be whenever it comes to being like riding different spots a certain way. But think about it. If you never really rode ramps, then how could you like really learn how to use or know how to use transition when it's in front of you? Or if you never grinded the rail, your expectations on doing certain tricks wouldn't be so high. I mean, I think that effort outweighs expectation, but at the same time, when you can match both of those, then you can see a rider such as yourself kind of like prosper in, I guess, any element. Because like I said, you can, and like you can ride any spot that's in front of you. I feel like, oh, I can do something on it, but I don't really care to. So but,
Yeah, or just, that makes sense. Yeah, I can see that. Well, just like
I know
going
you're not trying to talk about yourself.
Yeah, no,
You're gonna
never try to talk about myself. Yeah, I think there's also the parts like going to a rail, like going to ride a rail. I'll ride the rail and like play on the rail, but it's not like I don't feel like I want to film stuff on a rail. I don't feel like I just want to. I'll ride the rail with someone, but
No.
I don't know. I don't put too much effort into riding rails. And this is where you dub the clip in of Ryan dying.
What clip?
So you don't remember because you
I
died.
don't remember. Yeah. No, I remember every morning I wake up right now.
But yeah, I I can see that. I can ride most things when it comes to going to a session, but I really focus on riding street. Like I don't make an effort to go to skate parks or.
Have you ever felt boxed in, like as a rider? When I say boxed in, I don't mean like you don't always have to like come from the outside, but even self pressure when it comes to maybe being
no,
on
not with
trips.
myself. I think more outward in. Like probably people assume I'm some type of rider, or like maybe people who just started following my riding think I only ride like that. But it's kind of like how you mentioned Tate. He just chooses to ride the way he wants to ride. It's kind of how I view it.
I kind of feel like you got the spots in the palm of your hand.
You're ridiculous. Right here.
Box palm.
There you go.
There you go. Piece it
Plug.
together.
So Declan Murray was on your list.
Yeah, because
I was thinking I haven't seen anything from him in a while. Yeah, he hasn't posted for a little while.
yeah, but he's still.
kinda slow.
If you go through his back catalog, he's still just the sickest.
Yeah.
So is Declan Murray and what's the other guy?
Daniel Bungie?
Yeah, so they're not the same person, right?
No.
No.
Okay.
One's in the UK.
Yeah.
Right.
There's I think I put a.
You did put a time code, so it's coming in
Okay.
10 seconds or so. I'll give it a little bit of music here. Whoa.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like a bike rack clip. Maybe I messed the time code up.
No, you're fine.
Okay.
Oh, that was
Fine.
so-
I just
Yeah, I'm a big fan of his. He's a big reason why I started doing hand plants.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because he's king of the hand plant.
He is.
Like he does like in variety's sake.
Okay.
Yeah, he has a big variety of hand plants.
After Tuesday, you're gonna see a real big influx of hand plants coming out. They'll let these fools know. You do that trick too, like
Crank arms?
feeble foot plant, fast plant
Okay.
180 and stuff.
Is that what you're talking about? His foot plant and it jumps off a roof.
Nah.
Okay.
I mean, he's got a curve wall right there.
Yeah.
He was doing some other stuff.
Yeah.
I just mean like the ledge dudes, and then at the end, it's like then they're bars.
See, that's insane.
Yeah, that was awesome. I think maybe you did mess up the time. See, that's
Maybe it's a different video.
maybe.
Yeah, this one looks a little bit older than the time.
I mean, there was 4, like this clip, like that was amazing.
Yeah.
Also
Wait.
amazing, and then but both ways.
Yep.
Yeah, he's real good at that.
You said 153.
Maybe I got the wrong.
Maybe I think that was the curvor. No,
No, it was a bike rack clip.
you messed up.
Yeah, I messed
You
up. It's not in this
messed
video
up.
then.
Jeez.
Maybe it's the next video.
You got a lot of Declan
It was just three.
ass buffet.
Yeah, that might be it. Peak creativity. He also does
Yeah.
those.
Oh, that's so sick. Remember the first time
It's
I
like
saw
a
one
berm
of those,
rip.
At Mesh Skate Park on the vert wall.
Really?
Can't think of his name, but he was doing them on a vert wall, and it was like, what?
It's an insane trick. Like hitting the wall and then coming back, right?
Yeah, like doing the pocket, but like grabbing the wall underhand. Like, yeah,
Didn't somebody
See,
do
like,
one
that was-
out of a quarter on a wall and then back into a quarter?
I can see
Recently, yeah.
that. Yeah. Oh yeah.
That was so
Yeah.
sick.
It's a cool way to get back to it.
Yeah,
huh?
right?
I feel like I messed up the time codes, huh?
You did. What are you doing here? Maybe you got him switched. There's
the bike
you got
rack
the
clip.
bike right.
Yeah,
you got,
so
all right,
that
you
clip,
got 'em all.
that clip is straight insane.
Oh,
He lands in the rail.
We got the O's from us. That was
Control, stop, back in.
wow.
That's insane.
Albert's jealous on that one.
Wow.
I can't crank arm, so that's
You can ride
can't?
him with bike racks though, which is
Saran wrap.
He's saran wrap guy too.
So
Big fan.
What was the
I don't.
full cab hand planny?
Yeah. Maybe it's that
Maybe
one.
it's this one.
Yeah.
too.
Maybe I moved the layers
Yeah.
or the sails down. Yeah, it's
Maybe
great.
we'll go back.
That's so good. What?
Peak entertainment.
Yeah. It's called marketing, everybody.
Yep.
All right. Do you think, so this is one of the things, do you think the average person appreciates somebody like Declan? Like the average rider?
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's
I don't
a
think they
hard
do. I don't think they do. As much as they should.
Yeah. It's also like a visibility thing. I don't think Declan's is known,
Yeah.
but like that's kind of cool. That's like hard.
Yeah. Front.
The back pedal grind. This is insane. Like that got no visibility
Yeah.
anywhere, but it's like it's insane. Like I feel like a lot more people should appreciate that. But
Yeah.
Why
can't-
should they?
it's technically really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. It requires a lot of
It
skill.
sounds
No,
I
I
like I don't believe.
No, no,
I
know.
want to believe
I know
what
what you're
you're
asking.
saying. So
Yeah.
if anybody watching, they're like, "Why should I look at that? Why should I think that's cool?" It's like,
Yeah.
what do you think is cool about that, or what is hard about that?
just the time it probably takes to learn something like that. Like you were there when I learned regular
Oh, yeah.
hand plants. I was like stressing the hell out, and I was like texting Ryan Mills. And I was like, "What do I do? This is hard." Sending him videos, like, and you're sitting there, and Mike's sitting there, just like watching me
like
panic,
figuring it
and
out.
I was just
You were
like,
figuring it out.
"I want to learn this trick, and it's not working. What do I do?" I think it took about like an hour or something of just falling.
And you got it though. Like once you figured out like what to do, and you're like, "Oh, I got it," and that obviously took off because you were able to do hand plants over like a spine, right?
Yeah.
So that's a different world. So it's kind of like that is. I would assume besides doing like the hand plant on a bank
This is
to
cool
wall,
too, really quick. Sorry.
like besides doing a hand plant on like a quarter pipe or vert wall, then to a spine as opposed to doing it in the streets or even doing it at skate parks on something that you would find challenging. Then I can only imagine like because I've only done it on the spine, so but
Yeah.
I can't imagine like I'm gonna do this off this loaded dog real quick.
Yeah, I mean, and then
Doesn't
doing
make
it out
sense
of a
to me.
full cab,
Yeah.
where you got to trust that you're just not gonna fall straight off the side. You
You've
got
done a
to.
hand plant 360 on like a wall to
That's
like
not out yet.
good.
But yes,
But yes.
It's like that's a good plug. So I say
Yeah.
hand plant 360.
but yeah,
We can.
it really does. I think it does take a little bit of paying attention to appreciate it. Than watching someone like tail whip a 20 stair. It's like instantly that's amazing.
Yeah.
But like a little bit more focus. But you can't choose what people like and what people don't like. So
Yeah.
I like that point you just made about like the focus about like paying attention to it. So when I think about it, I think when you care about something like I say, photographer, filmer, BMXer, when you are in it for a while and you get to a certain point where you know how critical it is to make it look good, it kind of goes over people's heads.
Yeah.
So it's like the brash stuff that's right in your face is like, oh, that's crazy. Then it's
Yeah.
like the fine wine is like, oh no, you
Yeah.
watch this, dissect it, break it down.
Yeah.
Watch how he really went through it. So when you just explained to me about like the half cab hand plant 180, it's like, oh, like, now I get it. Like it makes way more sense because you have to break it down.
Yeah. A little more nuance, the average person.
yeah, absolutely,
Yeah.
definitely
Yeah.
more nuance riding. But
Yeah. Yeah. Headlights, Mastroni.
Uh,
Should we watch Industrialize or Headlights? If we were
industrialized.
Industrialize.
Both videos are perfect end to end. It's like listening to an album from a band you like, where you could just not skip a song. It's like anything Mastroni puts out, I could just digest it all the way through, or consume it. I'm sorry,
Consume it.
all the way through, and then
Consume
digest it,
and then digest it, and then
digest it into an Instagram story telling people to watch it.
and then poop it. So, let's talk about.
That
Let's talk about spot creation. I don't, not necessarily that he's creating these spots, but Mastroni obviously was at the point where he was amazing, that he was creating spots that he couldn't find. Essentially, is there it's one thing to take a crescent wrench and just take a rail out. It's another thing to like create entire pipes and spinning things and all that stuff that to make a clip. So what's your take on it?
If it doesn't exist and you can't find it and you want to do a trick, make the spot.
Okay. Is it still street riding?
How do you define street riding?
You're
Really good question.
doing tricks on things you find in the streets.
What if you found a skate park in the street?
Then it was made to ride BMX on.
Boom.
Okay. Just
Yeah, I mean,
it's fair.
that's why pools are street, in my opinion.
Okay.
Okay.
I
You know,
see,
like-
yeah.
Okay.
Like anything that was like not meant to be ridden on is street riding, in my opinion. Not to say that this Mastroni
Got
stuff
you.
isn't street, but it's a gray area from a purist standpoint. And I'm not necessarily saying that I'm a purist and I believe that, but I'm being the antagonist in the conversation
absolutely.
for sure.
Yeah, I think people will want to know a lot of like the question you are asking. People want to ask. You know, I think that's a real good way to look at it. And
Yeah.
have, like the
was so
inside and
sick.
in between, because some people are like, oh, this isn't like cool because
mean,
he's doing.
I
this
tried that.
and
DeMarcus filmed
oh
it.
god, that's,
I
I believe you can do it, but it's I don't know.
the setup I did it on, I got hurt instantly. I just first try.
Wait, does he? I haven't seen this part for a while. See, this isn't the right part for this conversation, because a lot of this is he's not making any of these spots. Kind of more the Richie, like what? I was just like, what is? There's a booter into the curve wall ride. Like,
Oh, you were looking.
I was just like,
Yeah.
whoa, what? See, because I mean, like, I grew up in the era where it was like, we used to make the joke like, oh, like, you're using a board, why don't you just make a fucking roll in, and why don't you,
Yeah,
like one of those
yeah.
things. Like, so it was like you kind of had to just play it like you play it like it
yeah,
lied.
yeah. And I
if
believe
it
that
didn't-
too.
And if it didn't work, then that wasn't the right spot. You know, like, so
And I do think playing it as it lies is important.
Yeah.
But if it is something cool and you really want to do it, go get a piece of wood. Like, go grind
Yeah.
off the stoppers.
Yeah.
Go bring a new rail in. Like, just do-
effort's okay. Effort's
Yeah.
okay. I'm not. I just think when it's like deceiving, like, whoa, you found this like perfect spot that like was like this, you know, like,
Yeah.
then and you go, no, I made it. Yeah. This doesn't really have the same effect anymore. In my opinion,
Yeah.
from coming from somebody who watches skate videos, not for the skateboarding, but for the spots.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like that's literally how I could give a
Yeah.
fuck about watching skateboarding. But I'll be like, fuck, where's that spot at? You know, like that's
Yeah.
what I watch a skate video for. So
So in that case, everything we watch is like deceiving because it has to be edited if we're gonna
Ooh.
watch it unedited.
yeah.
It's like, but that just like perspective though doesn't
Yeah.
mean that like you said, writing it as it lies.
Like Mastroni's
is
crazy
a real
too,
big
because
part
like
to it.
I'm like, is this fire? He could make.
Oh,
he could have.
God,
He could have
yeah.
painted that fire hydrant just because he was like, it'd be cooler red. Is that fence? Were those
like, me
were
knowing
those
him
poles?
personally, yeah, for sure. Like
Those poles weren't there. He put the poles there.
Oh yeah, like I would when I'm looking at this,
Right?
it's like
Yeah, I mean, he brought, like, if you see the long angle, you could tell it's just kind of
He
standing
just has
there.
a fire hydrant in his
Yeah.
van.
I filmed the clip. I actually filmed it.
That would be so sick.
Even dude,
I
I'm
would
not.
love-
I love Mastroni. I'm not.
Do
yeah.
I would think that he had that in the van.
Yeah.
And
But I mean,
if
that's
he
a
don't,
sick.
then
That's
it'd
a
be
six.
surprising.
That's a six spot either way. And it's like, is it any better because he had to go in and out of some stuff and
Oh,
go
100%.
Yeah.
Perception.
Yeah.
It kind of creates the idea of and this is just me taking a guess at
Yeah.
what this could be. So when I watch something, it's like if you can tell something that shouldn't be there, then it's like, okay, we know that shouldn't be there. But if you can create the idea of like the
That was
engagement
awesome.
factor, then it brings a person in even more. So now it's stopping to have a conversation about it creates more like the
Yeah,
See,
like-
it also just makes me like it also just makes me doubt. Like
Yeah,
now that I'm like working in my head, I'm like,
Say, wait a
what
second.
about this?
Well, when you watch movies, are you doubting movies all the time? You're like,
Yeah, when I watch-
Nicolas Cage, he
When I
can't
watch-
steal a car.
when I watch Iron Man, I don't think he's actually out there flying
Yeah.
around.
Yeah, but you're not questioning if you're being deceived or not.
Yeah,
you're
because
just,
I
you're
know
just
I'm being
enjoying.
deceived.
the-
Yeah, because it's
Yeah.
entertainment.
yeah. So
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
like
it's fiction.
Well, you do
this
this
is
too, and it probably
the
kinda adds
BMX
another
isn't
level.
supposed to be fiction.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's not
what's
supposed to be
what's
science
supposed to be
fiction.
then?
It's supposed
Like,
to be.
Are you trying to define, put it in a box, or
well, yeah, you have to.
I mean,
you have to?
Yeah, you have
I mean,
to.
what's the point? Let's fucking learn CGI.
The only reason why I say
never
you have
ride
to-
bikes again.
No, that's way different.
Well, that's what you're
The
saying.
reason why I say you have to define it, because you can't have every avenue of styles and everything without having some side of like this believe this should be this way, because you got to have the core, and you can't have the core without the, well, you can't have the corporate without the core. Core is what is the foundation. So when you have like set in stone, people believe what they believe and they think it should be a certain way.
Yeah.
Then that's another avenue for whatever person that may want to be into it. Say, all right, I think I'm gonna be on this side, and
Yeah.
that side is good because it kind of gives you like, this is like, I'm a part of this like community of riders, but like it's really big, but also it's kind of tight knit. That's where I think tight knit come from. Of
Okay.
like, this is what I choose to do, and this is who I choose to be around. This is how we view it. Then you have to have like the definition of like a person defining like that shouldn't be there, or a person like why shouldn't it be. So it kind of creates like
And
This is kinda
same
good.
thing. Like if we had Zach Gerber on the other side of the table
Yeah,
right now,
yeah.
it would be very entertaining to hear his take on something like this. Because in my opinion, Zach Gerber is like the most like outspoken.
he's very outspoken.
Like
yeah.
you know, and I like I like opinions, and so when I'm saying any of this is like, I'm not saying Mastroni can't do this. I'm just saying that like I want to dissect it. I want to know if
Right.
that spot is real,
Yeah.
so I can appreciate the clip for what it is and not
Right.
what it's not.
I can see that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like you know, like put a little disclaimer right down there, like manufactured spot. You know, like because I want it, because half the fucking fun is finding the spot for the thing. You're like, oh my god, like this fucking, you know. And if if those poles were up and he banged them over with a fucking sledgehammer, throw that in there, like throw the
I
clip in
want
there.
to-
You know, like
Like maybe he didn't bend that pole down. Maybe he brought that whole section.
I
that
mean,
whole section looks.
possible.
It looks
It's
like the
possible.
section from "It's Finer Things" part.
Oh yeah, like
Yeah, like he like that. You should get the poles in here, like on the wall.
yeah, right.
yeah. That's.
But I mean, and I say that as in
I'll have it in front of the door,
Yeah.
and I'll move the chain so you can enter the
Oh,
podcast.
yeah. And I say that because that for him, that's the exciting part is
Yeah.
building out a spot,
And that's-
not for everyone.
Yeah.
I like that we're talking about chains and talking about Mastroni and completely on topic. Of
And I don't
everything
fuck
we're
with
talking
chains. We've already determined
We
that.
don't
I
like
love chains.
I don't like
I
chains.
love
Fuck
real
a
chains.
chain.
I love fake chains. I love them.
You wearing a chain?
24 karat gold chains.
No, like
see
more
the
so,
gold.
more so. What do you call it? Gold plated.
Gold plated.
Okay.
Save a lot of money. Give you room to buy other chains, like a plastic chain to go for a spot. And we're
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
that's
yeah.
like Mastroni out for headlights, and we're looking at like the chain spot we just watched, and like you said, like a part of what we're all into is like searching, finding the spot. And there was this spot, and I had an idea for it, and it didn't work out, and it was like, oh man, there's a do not enter sign that normally is attached to this rail, but the chain is broken. It's like, bro, we could just go get a chain from Home Depot and we can get like a plastic one.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, cool. And I didn't question it because I like realized like that doesn't take away from me as being like a legit bike rider, because I don't, if I define myself in the eyes of everybody else, then it would take away from what I want to contribute to bike
Yeah.
riding, right? So we went to Home Depot, bought a plastic chain, painted it, and nobody knows that it was fake. So that was
Ryan
that's
is
in
very
headlights.
upset right now.
That's in
There
headlights.
should have been a disclaimer for Ryan. He's
That's in headlights. and if you decide to look
never
for it,
knew.
you'll notice it instantly, but
Okay.
you won't be able to tell but now you know.
Well,
But
you know what's
I just-
crazy, Albert, is the pipe ride all the way across that he did from the ditch. There was actually a net underneath.
just imagine.
and he didn't. Yeah, we just took that. We took that. We
Did you
took
know
that
he had
out.
to cut the gate?
See, this is what I like. This is what I like about having an opinion, because it's
you-
like it takes it a certain. You can take
to
you could
go.
take you could take any opinion and then just like make it more extreme, and it becomes ridiculous. Of
Yeah.
course, like I'm not saying you can't fucking take a knob off of a rail or
Yeah,
something
yeah.
like that.
No
I'm not saying you can't do
But
this, or
also
I'm saying you could do whatever the fuck you want.
Yes.
I'm just saying I would like to know.
Yeah.
I think it kind of helped people develop like standards and what they choose to kind of like partake in.
Yeah.
Like I think by saying like, I'm not really into that, so I'm not gonna do it. So that kind of give a person a gauge on
Yeah.
what they can like. I'll put the hydrant there, or maybe I won't put the hydrant there. Like that's a great
Yeah,
way to look at it, because without,
because like I mean half of like I mean going back to Dakota, but like Dakota, his part-time job is driving around and finding spots. He is an encyclopedia, and so if it was like he just started making stuff, it wouldn't have that same appeal, because when he does something, you're like, how the fuck did he find this oddball ledge rail wall setup that he has been looking for 3 years? And that's like the culmination of all his time and effort produces that clip. And when it's like when you just like put something in the ground and like make it, it doesn't necessarily have the same appeal,
but do you want the backstory? Like,
yeah, I mean, I'm
like
a fucking nerd.
You don't. Yeah, I guess you are.
Yeah,
but like you don't know. I mean, you know that about Dak because you know Dak.
No, because I mean, I don't talk to him actively. So I know, but like
I don't think the average writer is watching a Dakota part knowing that he puts in so much work behind the scenes. The same way like Mastroni is like, I don't think they watch it knowing that he put so much work into building out his spots.
Say, definitely younger, up and coming, young adult, and even some middle-aged guys probably won't even look at it twice. But do you think that kind of go hand in hand with like the fine tuning, like your like decision making, or like how we said the fine wine of like, I'm gonna choose to do this. So whenever you're watching it, you're gonna pay attention to more detail because of like your I guess time period from being involved in what we do, and gives you like a kind of more like fine-tuned approach to what you're looking at.
I think just as like a 20+ year BMX rider, and like just watching stuff is different for me or somebody who's just getting into it.
Yeah. It's definitely. I'm trying to make sure I haven't pissed anybody off. I'm like,
I think everything you're talking about and everything we're all talking about is very healthy, and I think that
I'm not trying to say that he shouldn't do that anymore. I'm just saying that like
nobody's taking it that way.
I don't think anything you're saying I would take it that way at all.
It's not super divisive.
You know, like it's just half of it is the geek out. He's like, where the fuck is this like curved round rail that he's doing this on and stuff? And then he's like, oh, he put it in the ground. Not that he did, but like
even that spin, Nautilus spin. That I watched him do that on a spot where we were just at a school, and Sean Moore jumped over like this gate, and he saw that like just a fence, like a post, and he was like, "Oh, I've been looking for one of those." And I was like, "Looking for it for what? Like, what do you?"
It's just a pole.
It's like, then sure enough, he did one. It was like, wow,
this is incredible. I found a setup to try this at, but I'm so scared.
That is awesome.
It's a setup you found, and it's like exists that way.
Mm-hmm.
What was the
that's sick.
But there's no bank to it. It's straight bunny hop. So it's just two poles that exist in that kind of distance where if you did a 360, you'd hit your front peg, hit your back peg. I'm just afraid to try it. It's just,
you got it, man.
It's insane.
I'm curious about these the pole setup now.
Oh, dude, it's
I want to see if this is I guess this is like peak spot manufacturing, right? like because
that one, that's the one he just found.
And
it was like, what?
Because like all those poles were made, those red ones, right?
The red ones. Yeah.
This makes me want to go make a spot.
You should. Fuck it.
Broken rib right there.
Oh,
I'll put a disclaimer on the clip for you.
You should.
That's the first day the first day I met
that. I mean, that's amazing.
Out with him, he did this.
That is amazing.
You're like, damn, it's like this.
Speaking of Richard Jackson, he filmed this.
Oh my God. I haven't watched this in a while.
See, I think for like this part, it's like laid out there, because like Industrialize, it was like he's going in industrial zones and finding this stuff. And so for me, it has a little bit of a different feel, because it's like it was about the search for that video. Right. And if you're making spots for that video, it like kind of like kind of like
the video.
Yeah, kind of like is a little bit of a faux, like a pseudo version of it, I guess is the right word.
Do you like concept videos, or do you?
Yeah, I'm fine with them. Yeah. If your concept is fucking kill it. I'm joking.
Gotta have that though.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't imagine like BMX without people doing savage stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I think I think that's somebody like Rooftops who has spent his entire life just sending.
Yeah.
He wants to see that, and that's what he appreciates the most. So somebody like Yumi is like the most confusing thing on the planet to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's true. There's room for all of it.
Yeah.
That's true.
And if we talk long enough, he'll be here. He said he'll be here around 3, so.
Oh, you're doing another podcast?
Yeah, I fucked up so bad.
Here.
Yeah.
I'm going to go restroom.
That spot definitely set up.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, that's obvious, like.
Yeah, I think it's been, for myself, have been like trying to understand perspective of why people choose to do things the way they do it.
Yeah.
And things that I would probably consider harsh would be like, oh no, it's not that harsh. It's just that person's perspective.
Yeah.
Then that helps make it more, I guess, relatable because people can understand it on a different level versus it being like, bro, we can't sit at the same table because we got completely different outlooks on how BMX should be done.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, so,
and some of it's like you're not going to find a chain pull jam into a wall ride. So like,
and if you do, then shout out to you.
So it's like some of it is actually impossible, and I understand, and I think just within this package, it's like to me it's at least like tremendously clear that a lot of it is like manufactured in some sense, and that's fine. And as soon as you close it, Rue's going to be like, "Let me back in."
Oh yeah.
No, it's fine. It's fine. No, you get it. You're fine. She usually gets over it. That was amazing.
Ridding the system.
See, that one was like all
there, yeah.
Yeah. Propping up the thing is fine. Like, that's amazing. That's like 1 in a million,
True. For it to be, yeah.
And that's
I think if I saw
that's
that, my mind would be like, I got to swing off the gate.
yeah, yeah. And that one's not. That one's like he put the pole in there, but that's fine. Like,
That's fucked.
that's insane. Ugh.
Right?
Creeps on that one. And it's all creative, I guess, is in the sense of like, because he's making this stuff, he is the eye of the beholder in that.
True.
Like
true.
he's the artist, he's the painter, he's the creator, he's the filmer, he's the maker, he's the everything. And so that is the ultimate creation in that sense, and it is creative BMX through and through. So I just think I just like it to be know what I'm watching. Well, oh shit, is this a spot he found? Oh god.
I forgot about that.
Forgot about that.
Yeah, no, this exists.
I think the post exists, but the one on top. That was crazy to do it like that short though.
Yeah.
Like the first part
I would be sitting on, I'd be chilling on it for a while. Yay. Shout out to Mastroni.
Yeah,
I feel like
Mastroni.
I've done him dirty.
No,
But it's not. It's definitely not intentional. I love Mastroni, his contributions.
Nothing you said about Mastroni was bad. It's perspective, and also it's gonna make people like think twice about what they're watching too, and it's gonna probably open their eyes up to like even the way they look at spots.
And some people may appreciate it more because he is putting that much effort into it. So it's like I'm not saying that it's bad. In the sense. Did you have a time code for this?
No, I didn't.
Oh no, it starts at 28. You did.
Oh yeah, it starts at.
And this is Daniel Bungay.
Yeah. I think like the first 30 seconds was just like really interesting as far as a creative.
He's
like, this is cool.
He do double seat. He do like grab seat, handlebar.
Yeah, that one, right? Yeah.
I think he does one of those in the intro.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
He's done those like downstairs. What? The
Yeah.
crank? That was awesome.
I love the
Was that a peg bonk?
Yeah. He's like the peg bonk king.
Yeah, he always has
Always on that stair set.
just his Instagram is always like entertaining.
Yeah. I put in a couple of his Instagram clips. But yeah, I'm a fan of his writing style, and some of his older stuff, he's going really big.
Yeah. Didn't he do that seat grab 180 down like a 12 stair or something like that?
I don't remember. I
feel
know.
like
I
it
know.
was something big.
Pretty sure he's done seat grab bars.
He's still going.
Oh, it's a line. Yeah, pretty sure he's done seat grab bars.
Wow. That
Yeah,
was
like he barred
amazing.
into
Was that no cat? That was a no grab, right?
I think he just straight into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. That's so good.
So what's your advice for kids out there that are just like, you know, I guess just like doing the status quo, you know, like, oh, I'm going to do the feeble hard, and then I'm going to do the Smith nose bar or whatever.
If it's what they want to do, then just go for it. But if you feel that you want to be doing something different, don't worry about, it's kind of cliche, but just don't worry what anyone says. Like, that's been a big thing for me over the last couple of years, is like, don't question it. Just like, if you feel in the moment that you want to do this one thing, just do it, because everybody's going to say something about it, whether good or bad. Like, you just got to try not to focus on anybody's reaction to what you're doing and just do what you want to do. When it comes to like different bike tricks and stuff.
Yeah. No, it's, I think, yeah, not like succumbing to the peanut gallery is definitely like important, you know, like, oh, this didn't get enough likes, I'm not going to post it again, you know, like that.
Oh
type
yeah,
of
definitely
thing.
don't let like likes dictate your life in riding at all. It's like, if you did a bar spin and that bar spin got more likes than you doing a tail whip, don't post more bar spins because it's going to get more likes. Just keep doing what you want. Like, don't try to like focus on Instagram likes.
And I think, yeah, it's
That's
definitely
very important. Like, don't let that shit dictate your life at all.
Yeah. Inside and outside of bike riding.
Yeah. And it's a great tool to use. And, but you shouldn't be focusing on getting your numbers up. You should be focusing, if you want to be posting on Instagram, you should be focusing on the creative part and doing your own thing, opposed to focusing on the numbers. Because if you're doing your own thing, stuff's going to happen, and you can try all you want, but the Instagram's busted, you know?
Yeah.
It's
and same goes for YouTube too. Because I feel like I see people that do like long-term YouTube stuff and they start, something takes off and then they try and replicate it and do a version of it and twists of it. And it's like, then they're down this road and they're like, wow, I am a fucking kook. You know, like you're like, man, you should just do what you want to do and try not to pay attention to it too much.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, that stuff, it's so weird right now because it's not a direct response to the people that are watching it. It's guided from the people that own those companies, like Instagram and Facebook and YouTube. All like, they don't let the eyes onto the product or your clip or what you're doing.
Well, I think they let the first, like, you know, I'm choosing your number, the first 10% dictate of people's reactions, how they see the post, dictate how much they're going to show it to the rest of the people. And the people that may enjoy your stuff don't fucking look at Instagram every single moment of the day.
And that shouldn't reflect how you go about the rest of your time or how you ride specifically. Yeah. Because you should be riding how you want to ride all the time.
Yep.
Make sure you're around people that don't mind you riding how you want to ride. Like, if
That's
you're with
also very
like a group
important
of friends,
too.
like, I think we all are people. We could be hard on each other, and we all know kind of if we're joking or not. But sometimes you could have not the wrong crew of friends, but like some crew of friends that kind of like shun you because you're not into the way they like to do things. Like, you two are friends, and you guys ride completely different. Same thing with like Dennis. Everybody that are friends that are around have like something different about them, but it's all accepted because it's like each person appreciates the other person's style and the way they choose to do it. So to add to that, like the community you're around, and don't also dictate, but like have a real big effect on if you choose to continue to do things the way you choose to do it, if you feel like that's good for you.
And I was like, your guys' crew, when you guys go out and ride, it always seems like it's so chill, you know, like you guys have people like, you guys are professional bike riders, but then you guys you know, you have people. What is it? Not chill?
No,
you guys are laughing.
No, it's so good.
Why?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Why are you laughing?
I just touched his base on something. I'll let DeMarcus explain it because
No,
Is this about you guys wearing jackets?
No.
Everything you're saying is like perfect.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Well, chill in the sense that it's not about what you're doing, but who you're with. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
because not everybody in your guys' crew is like progressing the BMX as a whole and doing crazy shit. It's like you got Ricky doing wall rides, you got Marcus who's learning hop threes and stuff like that, and you guys have like a crew and whatever the fucking Omar working in the thing and like don't litter video and shit, just shit that is like not like we need to go find a fucking spot to get a clip on. It just seems like you guys are just,
some days it's like that.
Some days,
like just because some days I wake up and I'm like
feeling froggy.
I want to bunny hop on I want to grind like a rail today.
Sendy Wendy.
And then I'll like that. Like one day
that happened to me last week.
Yeah, and then you sent it. You feel that way sometimes. So you go out and try to do something.
Yeah.
But yeah, most of the time it's just hanging out and stuff just comes about. But we make efforts to do things sometimes. Like tricks wise, I'm just trying to because like you're making it sound so like chill, where it's like no, we're actually out riding and doing tricks and like progressing our own riding and all the time. Like it's not just like sitting in the city drinking coffee, talking about.
That's usually what it is. Nah, but to what we laughed about is something that we kind of not dealt with yesterday, but we thought was pretty funny because it happened often. You have like someone that would want to be like, oh, I want to come ride the city with you guys because like everything looks so fun. And they get there and they're like, so next spot. And what usually happens is like when somebody said that to me, I'm like, well, I'll follow you. Where you want to go? They're like, I don't know. Like just show them. It's like, no, you asked to go to another spot. So I'll just follow you. So to me, anywhere you choose to go, I'm down. Like it's not like there's rules to this because it's not like we're getting in the car to go to another spot. This is literally like, just like you said, it's more so like everything that's involved with it versus just being like we're just there because like the chill is a real good point and a good way to look at it because we're just like involved in the day-to-day life versus it being like
I get it. Yeah. I know it because to somebody coming in, they're doing this right now. And then, but to you guys, you're like, we're also going to do this tomorrow and we're going to do this the next day.
Yeah.
So like that.
Shout out to Wani.
Was Wani the one? He was like trying to go.
No. Wani, like shout out to Wani. And I guess yesterday he wanted to meet up with us and ride. Oh, he was talking to Jared about meeting up. And Jared's like, I'm gonna go ride downtown. And he was like, I don't know if I want to come ride downtown because I want to go ride. And to me, I always take stuff like that personal because to me it stemmed from more conversation that was had outside of. Yeah. And it's just my own critical thinking of like myself and making sure that I protect myself and the people I'm around because I never want to be around a person that feel like they should be doing something else when they are more than allowed to do whatever they want to do. Yeah. But they feel like being around maybe myself or a group of people like me may slow them down. And it's like, oh, well, maybe this isn't where you should be.
We're not your speed.
Yeah. So, by all means, that any person that feel like they want to ride, then you should go out and ride. But also to myself and where I am with bike riding, and I'm sure Albert would feel the same way. It's more to it than just riding when it comes to just being maybe in downtown. Yeah. But the chill factor to it is what helped everything be a little less stressful. So it's not like he could have like, I'm gonna go out and grind a rail today, and none of us may not even be on that tip. But he's like, no, I'm down to do this. But he's gonna be around people that's like, oh, that's what you want to go do? Let's go do it.
Sit around.
We'll get like 10 angles of it on the phone.
And then they'll sit around. Like you'll film me, or people who are not filming will sit around with me, and I have that motivation to like not feel like I'm wasting someone's time.
Yeah, because that's a real good point too, because a lot of that turns into like if you're going to ride with a group of people that like hitting the ride, then it's like you. And if you want some light shine on you, such as a phone or camera, then it becomes kind of weird when you ask someone to film something for you. Yeah. And I try to steer as far away from that as possible because I don't have a chill when it comes to like passive kind of like words and stuff. So,
I get the opposing side though, because that's part of the reason why I don't necessarily go ride street, because I only feel like I have a small window to go ride.
Yeah.
And then I feel if like I was out for 3 hours or 4 hours and I didn't really get that feeling that of a set of accomplishment just via circumstances. If we're pedaling around and I didn't find, because I'm pretty choosy these days and I can't just like ride a flat ledge or a manual pad or something. It's like
big and scary.
What's that?
Big and scary.
Big and scary. Yeah. Well, no, I'm just not good enough anymore. I'm just not like, that's just not my style of stuff. And so then I'm like, I go home and I'm like, well, I rode, but I didn't really ride. Right. Yeah. You know, and it's like
that too is completely respectable. And it just so happened way too often. Yeah. It's kind of funny because I think expectations sometimes, like you said, it could be.
Well, people see the output, they don't see the input.
They see the output, but the output is like literally streamed from the amount of time spent. Yeah. It's like the amount of time spent being somewhere, you can easily create something because you're used to it. But at the same time, it's like if you would have, let's say if we all went on a trip to Australia right now and the people that are there day to day, they're like, I could probably come out for one day. And it's like, what? Why could you come out? It's like, oh, we're on a trip and they're at home.
Yeah.
That to me is like how the reference of like a person probably would come and ride one day and like the expectation is high. And it's like, I'm down to go wherever you want to go. Yeah. But I'm not like going to show you where to go. It's more so I'll follow you because you have an itch to do something. Yeah. So, but that's the point of all that. And that's why we were laughing. Yeah. But it happened often.
Yeah, it's happened often.
But my brain goes so far off, like it's like, oh, well, why did they say that? Yeah. Like, don't worry about it, dude.
Yeah.
Well, let's shift back to Simo.
Yeah.
Oh, a writer that I've taken lots of influence from.
That a lot of people have taken.
Yes. I'm just fascinated with Simo's writing. It's like,
you know what?
And this is 10% of Simo. This is Simo being no, really, he was hurt while filming this. He's 10%.
I don't think I've ever seen this. I think this was
this part is peak Simo. I love this shit.
This was during my my break from internet early last year, I think. So I've specifically heard from Simone, I believe it was directly from him, or maybe it was Chadwick or something, that he wants to be ahead of the curve, I guess, in the sense of like the stuff that he's done that people gravitated towards and kind of like emulated.
He's not even on that anymore.
He's not on it. No. He's over it. He's not going to do it again.
He's done everything he could with it.
Yeah. Which is so crazy to be of that caliber of rider.
Yeah. I mean, and it's obvious that this is different from the last video that he put out, and before that it's different than that. Yeah. And you could see it's his style, but it's kind of all in the same like creative realm.
Yeah.
But it's all just different shit.
That word, the visual because of the dog, the foot out.
So good.
The foot out and then the dog pissing is fucking fantastic. Some fucking upper echelon editing right there. Yeah. B-roll usage.
He's got complete control of his bike.
Yeah. And Simo's kind of on the same. I would consider at least pathwise, because Simone did a lot of bigger stuff back in the day as well.
Yeah.
And has kind of like found his own path with this.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure he still can.
I mean, he still can for
Probably
sure.
Still does.
I mean, this looks, I mean.
Was that a fakie wall to wall fakie or a wall fakie to fakie wall?
Fakie to fakie wall.
Was it a backwards manual? Yes. Manual backwards. Okay.
It is a downspeed.
Wait, so you guys are talking about the idea that a fakie wall ride is named incorrectly, right?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think it's named incorrectly, but I'll always like kind of pick at a person when they say, "Oh, do a fakie wall ride." And it's like, what? Like I'm facing towards the wall.
Yeah.
Like a fakie wall ride to me is like you hitting the wall backwards.
So what should it be
was
called?
fakie wall to wall fakie, technically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That to me is a
fakie wall ride.
Wall ride. Yeah.
I'm not really a stickler for names.
Well, it is named wrong.
Yeah,
but
you can't.
But the idea of
like that, like I know when it's the person I do a fake wall, I know exactly what it is. So, yeah,
Jesus.
Have you held back on
That's
being
incredible.
on like because of your creative expression, which it wouldn't be creative if you're doing it. It would be more so you just being yourself. Have you held back on doing certain things around certain crowds of people, or like
Not
if
these
you're
days.
working with a certain filmer, like would you choose to like maybe I won't try this because it may be a little too, I guess, not rub people the wrong way, but maybe the people you're around. Because I know, like you said earlier, about like if kids or people watching this, if you're into it, then don't worry about what people would say. But have you personally dealt with that to come out of it, or has it always kind of been whenever you turn it up a notch in the creative aspect of how you choose rock spots?
I'll see like random comments here and there. It is really spaced apart. A lot of people are very nice about like my writing style. But yeah, every now and then there's like dude talk shit on the internet. So I usually just ignore it.
Yeah.
Like as I should. But yeah, it bugs me sometimes where you do something and then somebody points out one and you focus on the negative comment. You're like,
Okay.
fuck.
Yeah.
But no, just keep pushing. Just dump that. You don't need to be thinking about that. Keep moving forward.
Nice.
What about from the aspect of, is there stuff, using the Simone example, that he doesn't like his tricks copied, I guess, or he wants to keep it moving. Like you see you see something from somebody, you go, wow, that looks really fun. Here's a spot that could work for that.
Yeah.
Are you going to chill on it?
I think
because
sometimes maybe over the years our trick selection has maybe matched up like once or twice, but
I mean, I'm just in general,
Yeah.
not specifically Simone.
Oh, okay.
But just like you see a Declan clip or you see something where he's like, oh, that looked really fun.
yeah,
Like,
Declan hand plants. Like I know Ryan Mills like started doing the street hand plants and roll off hand plants and stuff, but when I saw Declan's like full cab hand plant, it really opened, and he did a bunny hop hand plant over a jersey, and it really opened my eyes to be like, damn, that doesn't get done enough.
Yeah.
And I was like very appreciative of him doing that shit. And so I just, you were there when I learned.
Yeah.
You were there when I learned it rolling, and you were there when you filmed me learn it over a
both of them,
jersey.
yeah.
That shit's a mind fuck.
but like,
It's so fun.
I guess what I'm asking is like, do you let it lie, or do you like take it from somebody? You know what I'm saying? Like is there an
like if you
is
know
there
you
an
can do it,
ethics?
it's
I
like-
think it would, if it was more specific.
Yeah.
Because I know hand plant's pretty broad
Yeah.
concept, but if it's something like Simo doing like backwards manual, backwards pole jam,
Yeah.
and then I find the same setup and I film it and I put it out, and only because I saw the Simo do it, I think there's something there. It's like you're no longer doing it for fun. You're just copying it because you saw it, which I'm sure plenty of people are very much capable of doing a lot of the stuff I do. And I don't know. To me, it doesn't matter. Like
Okay.
I won't do it to someone, but if somebody does that to me, that's totally fine.
Yeah.
I was trying to find old Simone stuff.
Oh yeah, his what can go wrong part is pretty buck, like big shit.
I have welcome to the pro team. I don't Shadow. Welcome to the pro team.
Oh yeah. There's someone we're missing with creativity, and that's DeMarcus.
Ooh,
Bro, what are you talking
did he
about?
invent the rail
You drink too
manual?
much coffee right now.
I did drink too much coffee.
Did I invent the rail manual? What? Van Holman?
Joking.
Just imagine.
Imagine. San Diego.
Yeah.
I was trying to see if there's just like the fuck down the road.
Right?
why the fuck is Simone at that non-park?
Because I think one of these guys, I think he did it, the manual 180 over the rail in that park.
LaShawn?
LaShawn did it, or Simone did it.
Oh.
One of the two did the manual 180, like quick manual on the curve to 180 over the rail, one of the down rails.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
this
This
one,
one.
this
Yeah,
one
that
right
one,
here.
yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
So maybe that was the warm up clip. Like, yo, that was crazy.
That's right. That's right next to the spot that some fucking this shit
and
after. Please edit that out. I don't want to use that word. Sorry, some dummy.
This is where you edit in the fall again.
No, I'm not. Dude, I don't even like it. I don't want to see it.
No, yeah.
I showed the chiropractor the other day.
You're like, well, how did you make it out of that?
Yeah.
I've showed doctors clip, like when I bruised my ribs, I've had the clip on my phone, and they were like, yeah, of course your ribs are bad. Like, they don't even question it. They're like, that the severity of your bruises are that of a freeway car accident.
Yeah.
And it's like sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I would consider this to be more kind of straightforward BMX style versus, in 6 years' times, it's like the evolution of his riding is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I was getting at. But DeMarcus Paul, I do not see his name on this list.
Because I wanted to tell him in person.
Oh.
I shouldn't be on that list ever.
Yeah.
Nowhere close.
Well, let's see. We have...
I think there's different levels to there's all the nuanced creativity.
Oh, all right.
I think maybe you or Michael added some stuff.
Yeah, I think I didn't add anything. Well, I added an Erik L clip, but Beringer, I think.
The Utah big brain biking.
Yeah, I loved his section in like a little devil video.
Yeah. I don't know about this. The music is always scary on here.
Oh yeah, like the...
Yeah, I mean, it's just weird. It's like it should be under commentary. Like, it should be fair rights because we're just talking about his writing and stuff like that. But I just don't want to. Yeah, I mean, as far as like quirky, creative, fun bike riding, I think Beringer is like kind of the... I don't know. I don't want to say pioneer, but because there could be somebody before him, but that's what I think of in the sense of like somebody who kind of did it their own path and did things like took arguably stupid tricks and then made them kind of dangerous and fun and made it like made that and incorporated it in alongside also progressive riding, like the front flips and backflips to walls and stuff like that. Yeah, exactly. Trampoline biking, stuff like that, like really paved the way for there to be an avenue to be not just fucking serious. This is the phase that people were like punching themselves in the head when they didn't pull a trick and like super serious screaming and throwing bikes and stuff like that. And I think he obviously paved the way for, for dudes like Cam Wood and Tate and all those. I would. You guys know Tate better than I do, but I would assume that Tate has Beringer as a huge influence.
Oh, dude, I'm sure 100%. Yeah. And they're around each other too, so it's not like it's super far off. But like I think a lot of those guys, Elf, Tate, Cam, all those guys are like around each other every other day, I'm assuming. It's like, I know when I would be there, they would be like, oh, we're going to hang out with Elf, or we're going to hang out with this person. It's like, oh.
Yeah, Elf is definitely one of the ones that doesn't get the credit that he deserves.
Yeah, Elf is sick.
Yeah. What is it? Is Sentenced to Life? Is that what it is?
Who's
this video?
For? Oh,
I gotta click past it. Yeah, it's so wild.
I don't know.
Is that still there? There's no way.
Wait, was it boarded up? Probably gone.
I don't know. It looks pixelated.
Was it pixelated?
I believe.
If you go there now, it's still pixelated.
Yeah. Imagine if as you got older, your eyesight just like, instead of just getting blurry, just got pixelated.
Oh,
God. It's like by the time you're 80, you're just looking at Minecraft.
Yeah, it's like you're like the doctor's like, well, you're at 240p. It was instead of 2020. Just go. You're at 244. You better slow down. You're gonna be at 144.
There's no more updates available. They've discontinued this age group.
All right, this is more straightforward video part stuff.
Yeah.
Tim Knoll,
Of course.
I think it's got a time code here. So Tim Knoll definitely found a path in the quirky flatland.
It's the upside down grind.
Yeah.
What is that called? Does that have a name? The Tim Knoll?
I'm gonna say the backpacker. I have no idea. I'm just.
Where's he from?
I don't know. Good question.
Midwest. What?
Utah.
How'd you know?
I don't know.
His most popular video on his channel has 43 million views.
Yeah, it's like super.
Yeah, so
entertaining.
parkour. There you go. That's a good way to say it. Parkour BMX is a good way to. That looks like California for sure.
The backwards over the the backwards over the wood pile looked like it hurt.
Yeah. Ooh.
Really athletic.
Send it.
Yeah.
That's sick. Feet
It's
never
like if
touched.
He's
No.
like a gym teacher, like a gym coach.
Is he really?
No. I'm
Oh,
saying,
yeah,
like,
that's what he's built like. That is crazy.
Like one of those guys that probably can do everything.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
fix a car, but he can also build a bridge, build a building, but he also can do bike tricks.
Wow. That's so wild.
Creative?
Very.
Kooky?
No?
Oh,
Maybe a little kooky.
There you go. Stop trying to be nice.
You gotta hear all the crap that I talk, bro. No, okay.
No, I mean, obviously it is like, and this is one of the things where it's like he found an avenue doing this, and so it's like it just gets crazier and crazier. I think as time goes on,
Yeah.
you know, and it's like, it's hard when it's, you know, it just becomes like, gimmick bike riding.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, and that's, I think Tate runs it fairly well, where he kind of adds in kind of the legit stuff and doesn't do the wheel bouncing thing all that much, you know.
Yeah,
but
he's very well rounded with
Yeah.
his creativity and the way he because he'll like go out and have an idea and like make it work, but it's never very repetitive and it's always interesting. And I've never saw a Tate clip that I was like, that's lame.
Yeah,
I'm always
yeah.
very impressed with
Yeah.
everything he puts out.
But yeah, I don't think this guy's been doing his thing very much lately.
I haven't heard about him recently.
Yeah, it's recently uploaded 6 years ago. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Cam, we'll run through these. I had a Garret Reeves.
Oh yeah, Garret Reeves.
Yeah. Because I think he's one of the, you know, like when I think of, what's that other wheel?
Oh,
My kid's done that before.
that's incredible.
That was amazing.
You know who I
Oh.
forgot? That's amazing.
Who?
That you'll all agree with, and all of BMX will agree. Drew Hostleton.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I think what I was going to say about Garret was that he was taking spot usage to a creative level, you know, like where it was like, oh, this is a spot kind of like maybe you could do this. And then he would do like one extra on top of it, you know, there'd be something extra there, or the idea that you joked about, but he would have the foresight to like actually do it. And I think Drew is
And the grapes.
and the grapes,
Yeah.
the grapes. I think Drew was a good one for that too.
Yeah.
Let's watch Garrett's just because it's top of mind. But the
They're-
last, like, I mean, also it was just fucking. He was so gnarly.
Mm-hmm.
This is another one that I think there's no music on it whatsoever.
Yeah,
no sound whatsoever.
I've gone back to watch this lots of times, and it's gone from like having a song to not having a song.
Yeah.
Which I don't own a hard copy of this, so I'm pretty bummed. I need to get a hard copy of
Have it
this.
somewhere.
I'll buy it from you.
Yes, $1 million. Where's the creativity? I stocked it up. That spot usage.
Nose Willy
nose
wall
hanger.
ride over a doorway.
Yoy.
When you guys think of creativity, do you guys think of small spots or like kind of congested? What do you think, Albert? Like when you think of creativity?
I mentioned you earlier, and you generally don't ride small spots. Generally, I thought about your creativity on like handrails and stuff, where a lot of people won't approach a rail the same way you do. So, like I said, yeah, I mean that's just
Here, let's watch it. There's
like you icing a rail, but icing it at the highest point you can get, all the way down and off the very end. You know, just
Okay,
like
so
that.
that
To me,
probably, like,
that falls into a category where it's like you're not taking the normal approach to people who. Because when I ice a rail, I jump halfway down.
I guess.
And that's just because I grew up in the era where you had to fucking, or where I felt comfortable.
That's
jump-
how you
gapping.
do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody was gapping to do the ice. Like, but you have the approach to just kind of pop, balance. And to me, that's creative.
It's wax.
it's the creation of wax.
Yeah.
I think of it as bike control. I think it is because
Yeah.
when I think of DeMarcus, the first thing I think of is that when everybody else does a manual, they're like, and
Oh, yeah.
DeMarcus is frozen. You're like, oh, I found the balance point, and now I'm here. You know, like I know you're not going to take that well, but like,
I'll take that. I
but like
I mean,
Hoder is kind of the same way. When he manuals, he's like
locked in,
frozen,
Yeah.
and DeMarcus is kind of the same. And I just think of DeMarcus as being like bike control, you know, like and there is creativity and stuff in there, but I think
That's the other
DeMarcus's
thing,
superpower is bike
Yeah.
control, you know. So,
That's 100%
But-
true.
but
yeah. Appreciate y'all.
Garret Reeves.
Wall
Like
over.
yeah, I mean there's a couple just like different approaches to stuff where it's like fake you wall down something.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
That's so wild.
Yeah, I think
then-
that's insane.
Yeah. Cuz like you could alley-oop it, but he went like an extra 90.
Yeah.
Yeah, he like landed vertical facing down.
Yeah.
I think there's something to say about people who take the alternative route to
Yeah.
a spot. Like most people would have saw the wall. He just did a 272 and be like, oh, gap to wall.
Yeah.
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 Like I set this up and now I could just gap to wall 180 or gap to wall, whatever.
I just appreciate just how massive this gap is.
Mm-hmm.
That one's crazy, but it looked like he went like way faster than he needed to for that last one, but fuck me.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wanted to go try that or try something similar there, but I never made it out.
Alive.
No, I never made it to the spot.
Ricky? Or what should we do? Should we keep clicking through these
There's some Instagram clips.
Instagram clips?
So it's Daniel Bunk, Declan Murray. Look
Nice.
at that. I think he does a different one too. Can peg bonk.
Is that a kid? Congrats on your kid.
Oh yeah, he's had a kid.
Congrats.
I think one. Yeah, this clip went viral, I believe.
Oh, this is so
Super fun.
sick. It's so good.
It's so satisfying
Yeah.
the way they like.
Wow.
I found a bunch of cones and I was like, do I do that and send it to him?
I wonder how he thought of that. Being creative.
You're being creative.
Best videos wants it. If you haven't replied to that one already. 222 weeks ago, they may be over it at this point.
Yeah, I went back to some of my favorites. So.
Do you save clips on Instagram?
I do not.
Oh, okay. You save favorites.
He's good at the saran wrap. He did a saran wrap peg bonk.
Yeah.
That was that first clip.
Wow.
$180.
Yeah, saran wrap peg bonk 180. Or there's no peg there. Axle bonk or something.
I mean, like
it was for that one.
I would definitely just not ride any of that stuff.
Yeah, it's
Like that's what I mean. Like
raw, like it's like your brain have to really work. It's like, yeah, I think I don't have to really find a
Sorry for
spot.
the
'Cause the
size.
spot's already here.
shift life always kills it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I'm always so fascinated that he rides chains so well.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude.
That's so dangerous.
I was itching my beard, so I was trying not to. I think this is gimmicky.
Done.
So you say, well, that was that. And he bars out of everything. Like, it's like, how did you do
Yeah, how'd you bar
that?
that?
How?
Yeah, the chain stuff is like.
You and Demo, or him and Demo.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, I've only done one successful chain ride. I searched high and low for a chain to do it on, and when I found it, and that was the only one.
They should be outlawed.
I love
Low chains. I'm just joking.
So you touching that chain, man.
Fuck that.
I love
Oh, we saw this one naturally. Eric L. I think Eric L. definitely.
crossing them up. Wow.
Wow.
Crazy. Oh, I put this one in here. But
Is this the part he does the roller coaster?
no, that's a Sunday one.
Oh, okay.
I lived that trick though, the roller coaster.
Really?
Yeah.
This is pro park?
This is a pro part, yeah. It's just good. I mean, Pegless Street, I think, is inherently you have to be somewhat creative.
Yeah,
you know.
stretch, yeah.
But he is just such, you know, Dakota. Him and Dakota, obviously, coming from the, you know, Eric's not from here,
insane.
but like being raised together and coming up together, they both have such good eye for spots and trick selection on stuff. It's like. Is that one of the electrical boxes you rode?
No, but I had planned to go to that one and I didn't.
That's
I
the
think,
one that.
I think Brock did the move on it.
Yeah,
anyway.
Brock did the one.
That was double tire bump
Yeah.
jump.
That trick is so hard, man. Don't understand.
Wally, crank arm, excellent.
Switch the feeder up too.
Oh, I think it's cool.
That's in
Oh wow,
heart of lung.
See. Oh, chain.
wow, that's dangerous.
Very. He ain't scared though.
That's
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. That's fucked.
Is there such thing as a creative overload for you?
What do you mean?
Just your brain just get wrecked around, like just trying to figure out, like, do you write spots down in your like notes or different ideas down?
Sometimes I write ideas down, but not in a while.
Yeah.
Sometimes, well, you know, from filming me often, I change my mind all the time. Chadwick used to not complain about it, but he brought it up often.
It's like
Whatever I
something,
start
or like,
with, that's usually not what I end up doing. Because sometimes you start trying something and then the spot pushes you a different direction,
yeah.
so you got to follow through with what's going on there. So
dang, that's a very seasoned way to look at it. It seems like probably just years and years from bike riding, and then like being able to just adjust and even think of something else to do on a spot that probably seems like you can only do one thing shows like the level of bikeability.
oh, you're real nice.
bikeability.
Yeah, bikeability.
Nice.
Bikeability. Yeah, I don't know. Should we watch? I think Chris Kyle's the only one. I mean, we had some notables over there. Felix.
Yeah,
Kevin.
those fall into the like
Alex.
they're they're less nuanced, but it's still really creative the way they approach, like Felix doing, was it manual 180 up the thing to fakie 720?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
just like Alex, the way he approaches all of his handrail tricks, it's very different than a lot of people.
Yeah. And I think, I don't know, I just think those people that pioneer a new thing, you know, they're the ones that get revered because they brought something new to the table, you know, and that's creativity all in itself, is that you have, you know, people like Erik, which they may be like underappreciated in some capacity, but they have those hardcore fans that know the real ones that know that like he fucking did the nollie bonk over that thing, and you know, the first fucking knack crank arm on stuff and things like that, you know, like
that is what kind of probably keep that style or like those people around to, I guess, pushing everything forward in that category.
Yeah.
Without that solid support crew. I mean, I think dudes will still be doing it, but it's like to have a solid base like that would kind of maybe like keep those dudes in a light where sometimes they may be overlooked.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Such as the, what's his name? Half cab, full cab, hand playing one. Yeah. Like, it could be maybe just where he grew up or like the things he's around may not have had as much light shined on him, but probably like even now, such as yourself being a fan of him, you're like, oh, like you're shining light on that. So
I mean, he's clearly a skilled bike rider, but it is nuanced, and it does take a second, I believe, to sometimes appreciate that from like not a regular rider's perspective, but I guess someone who doesn't really watch that type of stuff. So
yeah. Should we wrap it up? Any other you want to plug anything? He's like, where should I start?
I got nothing.
To anybody that don't know, Albert is a very not just creative guy on the bike. He also has his hands in a lot of different things, and I think that everything he touches comes to life. So if you're not in tune, get in tune, follow him, check him out.
Thanks, guys.
Hit him up in the DMs, ask him a lot of questions. I'll make him reply.
Shout out to the people that are doing different shit, because there's a lot of Smith nose bars out there.
And I think we've only, like, on just the time we spent talking about X amount of riders, I think this probably should be a part 2. It's just there's so many different riders to shine light on with the nuanced bike riding, or just doing something a little bit different that goes underappreciated. But I don't know.
Yeah,
be a part 2.
Leave suggestions on you know, I'm down. We can occasionally just come in here and just have a list of videos and just bullshit too. It doesn't necessarily need to be on topic or whatever. If people are down, I don't know, but that's that should do it.
That should do it. Do you have anything to say about creativity?
No. Just
It's hard.
It's a hard question. It's like you said. It's very subjective.
Yeah,
I mean, the topic is subjective.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at Instagram, there's stock bike riding clips, there's danger clips, there's something with a little bit of a twist on ourbmx's Instagram. Something that stands out and something that's unique is generally what we're looking for in between. You know, so we're not gonna just like post a long manual line with a feeble hard bar at the end. Like, that's very rare, you know, because Chad's out there doing it fucking better. Unfortunately, that's, you know, if something stands out and something's new, something's cool, like, we try and pay attention to it, and that's the important part of being creative, in the sense of, like, I guess doing it for yourself first, but it's a way to find your own path, I guess.
Do you, not to keep like pushing it along, but like, do you feel creativity open up opportunity? The only reason why I asked that, because I see here you have a sticker that's from, you want to talk about that?
This?
Yeah.
We watched the video.
Yeah, but that's a sticker that looks like it should be on a power box.
Oh yeah.
Like, it was so, that's how good it is. It's so creative that he couldn't even pick up on that. That's not like a real power box sticker.
That's from
Utility
the San Diego power boxes. They look exactly like that, and I designed that one to look exactly like the San Diego electrical boxes,
Yeah.
but with my name, so we can put it on an electrical box and film. It was for
Did you use it in the intro? Why didn't I?
Yeah,
see
we used it in the
wasn't
intro.
there. The best part is that SDG&E is San Diego Gas and Electric, but SDGT is on
Fire.
there. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's very adorable.
thanks.
Super
And over
cute.
here in the left corner is Box Palm.
Oh yeah, right there.
Yeah.
20.75.
Do you
Yes,
do you
it's
have
the
like,
front side.
more than one of those?
Yeah, I have a handful of them.
This one's gonna.
All right, he's gonna sign the next 5 orders, and he will throw one of those
Oh.
into Box Palm.
There you go.
Oh, there you go.
Sorry,
I got about bigger
spot.
envelopes. So yeah.
Cool. Thank you guys for coming. I
having
appreciate you.
Yeah.
I appreciate you.
No worries.
Appreciate you, dog.
That's it.
Yeah.
Appreciate you guys.
I appreciate you. You should be more creative with your appreciation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang, you're so creative that you can even tell this is like not real.